Now, I want to update you on the wildfires in California. They've burned through more than 1.4 million hectares this year. That far exceeds any other year in the state's history. These are pictures from Deer Park in the Napa Valley wine region in Northern California. This particular fire's burnt through 4,000 hectares of land, and hot, gusty winds are forecast. Here's more from the authorities.
We've had an increase in the winds, along with increase in temperature and lowering relative humidities, which has increased the fire behavior, and the fire has jumped and is working its way towards those more populated areas.
Well, there are 3 fires which have merged near Santa Rosa. That's led to mandatory evacuation orders in Napa and Sonoma counties. And this is what that looks like from above. Thousands of hectares have been burnt, and the fires are still out of control in many cases. This video is from the Napa County Sheriff's Office. It came with the caption, "Never wait till the last second to evacuate." Hundreds of residents have taken that advice and left. Others, though, have stayed to try and defend their homes. This is one of them.
That's what I'm doing. We got a long hose out here and trying to keep it wet and hope we don't end up like the poor guy right across the street there. The whole house just went up in flames about 5 minutes ago.
And these pictures show us just what that looks like. This was captured by the photographer Kent Porter for the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. This was one of many homes destroyed in this area. And I spoke to Kent earlier.
You know, it was a little intense last night. After 6 years of this, we're getting used to intense. It's every summer is kind of like this. It gets a little bit worse every time.
And at the stage the situation was at when you were filming there, is anyone trying to save those buildings, or they've been written off?
Oh yeah, no. The firefighters were there. There were 2 strike teams of engines there, but the fire moved so fast up the hill that it impacted the structures. And you know these are big homes. You know, 2,500 square feet, 3,000 square feet, and they're kind of on a ledge of kind of a canyon, and so they're really difficult to put out. And when they get going, and the winds were up around 50 miles an hour, and they impacted the houses pretty routinely. And they're so close together that they just took off. You know, there was not much they could do. They did a great job. They saved a lot of homes on the other side of the block because there was these big ember casts going on. Mm-hmm. So they did an amazing job. But unfortunately, they lost. I think they lost anywhere from 10 to 11 structures on that street.
And Kent, when you're taking these photos, how easy is it to move around, to navigate from one situation to another?
You know, you're wearing all the gear that the firefighters are wearing. The only thing that you don't have is the hose and the tools. But you have, you know, the fire shelters, the Nomex, the helmets, the shrouds, the boots, the gloves. And, you know, so it's kind of, you feel sort of like the mummy when you run around in that stuff, but you get used to it. So, but you kind of get, you know, we have such a good law in California, 409.5, that allows us access into these disasters to show people what's going on when they've been evacuated. So it's actually pretty easy to move around. It's a little dangerous during a fire. It was pretty dangerous last night, actually.
Yeah, it looks that way. I played a clip just now of one person who hadn't taken the advice to evacuate. Did you manage to speak to people who were doing that, who were staying put?
No, you know, there's always people that want to stay put, and they tend to, you know, want to put out the fire themselves. And I'll tell you what, you know, when you see the videos or the pictures that I photographed last night, and you see how big the flames are, then you realize that a garden hose is not going to do much good. It's just not going to do much good when there's a 50-mile-an-hour wind on a fire. It just didn't, you know, it was so hot. It was so hot that, you know, you would burn yourself if you didn't have the correct gear on.
Many thanks to Kent, and do look up his work online.